College football rivalry week is upon us, and we are putting some of the best and biggest matchups under the spotlight. More than 10 games have conference championship implications on the line, and most of them are going to be going down this weekend. So Chip Patterson joins us now to break down some of those division and conference races and some of those rivalries as well. He's a writer for CBSSports.com, also co-host of the Cover 3 College Football Podcast. All right, Chip, big rivalry, Ohio State, Michigan, obviously is going to have implications on the national stage. How big of a win will this be for either team?
Absolutely massive. This rivalry took a huge twist last season when Jim Harbaugh was able to defeat Ohio State for the first time as Michigan's head coach. You know, that had been one thing that had caused a lot of angst and a lot of frustration for a lot of the Wolverines fan base. And I think that in addition to the larger stakes here, which of course include making it to the Big Ten championship game, which of course include setting yourself up to likely make it to the college football playoff, there is everything that happens within these two. I mean, these two schools don't even refer to each other by their school name. There's so much hatred here. And on the flip side, a loss for Ohio State would give Ohio State head coach Ryan Day a losing record against the Wolverines. Urban Meyer, his predecessor, the man who hired him and allowed for him to take over the program, never lost to Michigan. And so, you know, there is the larger piece of this, which is a Big Ten championship and a college football playoff. But there is also Jim Harbaugh now trying to get one over on Ryan Day. Ryan Day and Ohio State playing with all the expectations here. They've been a national championship pick since the beginning of the season. And so losing at home for the second year in a row in this rivalry would be devastating for the Buckeyes. This is really more about the Buckeyes taking care of business, Michigan trying to play spoiler.
Another big rivalry, Notre Dame, USC. What are the odds that Notre Dame can kind of end the surging Trojans run right now, because USC is playing very well?
USC is playing very well, but one thing they have not been able to do is develop a really stout defense. And I think that that's where Marcus Freeman has a game plan to be able to try and get Notre Dame into the fourth quarter with the game as close as possible, because the Fighting Irish cannot go score for score with USC, who is led by Heisman Trophy contender quarterback Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is going to be looking to make a Heisman moment for Heisman voters, but Notre Dame's defense is very good. And offensively, they like to run the ball. And of course, in the game of football, when you're running the football, the clock continues to run and you're keeping the ball out of the other offense's hands. We just need to look back at the season opener against Ohio State when Notre Dame lost, yes, but only lost by 11 points. That same kind of playbook I think Notre Dame will use. Play a little bit of keep away. Don't let the Heisman Trophy contender have the ball, and hope to get to the fourth quarter and come up with a couple big plays.
And Caleb and Lincoln Riley, both their first year there at USC, coming from Oklahoma, that would make them legends there at USC. Let's switch gears. Alabama's a favorite in the Iron Bowl, but could we see an upset from Auburn, because Cadillac Williams has that team really kind of believing in themselves?
I think we see a feisty Auburn performance, but man, that would be an incredible reflection of pride if Alabama loses at home in what is likely going to be the final home game for last year's Heisman Trophy winner quarterback Bryce Young, for Will Anderson, a talented defensive player who will likely be a top 5 pick in next year's NFL draft. There are so many players that were key pieces of Alabama's success over the last couple of years. I think Auburn's feisty, but I think Alabama gets the win.
All right, Chip, and indulge me here. This is my selfish question as a TCU alum. If we win out, can we pass a surging LSU or USC? Or is TCU still going to have to be at the mercy of the committee?
A 13-0 TCU is getting in the college football playoff. Don't you worry about that. All you got to do is win. Style points don't matter. Final score doesn't matter. 1 point wins in the next 2 games is good enough for TCU.
That's what I'm talking about. Checks in the mail. Chip Patterson, thank you very much.